This is the KRUI News at Noon, brought to you in part by the Daily Iowan. This is KRUI, Iowa City.
It is noon in Iowa City. The temperature is 58 degrees, and for KRUI, this is the latest news with Sarah Bulmer and Jordan Mickle. Here are the headlines for this Monday morning.
The government shutdown enters its second week. Sandy Hook Elementary School is set to close, and the U.S. strikes the Middle East once again.
U.S. forces missed one of their targets over the weekend. One U.S. official said the target of a failed raid by the Navy SEALs was actually a Kenyan man known as Abdul Qadir Mohammed Abdul Qadir, an al-Shabaab operator. But U.S. forces managed to remove one al-Qaeda leader from Libya on Saturday. Nazeh al-Rogie was wanted over the bombings of the American embassy in Nairobi 15 years ago. Secretary of State John Kerry said President Obama was pleased with the results of the two assaults. Syrian officials have begun disarming their chemical weapons today in a move that complies with a UN resolution to destroy those weapons. Assad's government agreed to destroy its chemical arms after a gas attack outside of Damascus killed hundreds of people in August. One Syrian official called the disarming an excellent start.
Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut will be closed forever. On Saturday, Newtown residents voted to demolish the school and build a new school at the same site, in the highest town voter turnout since the 2008 presidential election. Sandy Hook Elementary has been closed since the December shooting that left 20 children and 6 teachers dead. The American Association of Cancer Research reports that lowering the risk of breast cancer may be as simple as going for a walk. Upon a study of over 73,000 postmenopausal women, researchers discovered women who engaged in at least an hour of physical activity every day had a 25% lower risk for breast cancer. Those who particularly walked for at least 7 hours a week also had a 14% lower risk for breast cancer. According to the authors, this is the first study to report a lower risk for breast cancer, and they are confident that with an increase in physical activity, women are much more likely to defeat the cancer before it even begins. The U.S. government shutdown is now entering its second week in effect. As the shutdown drags on, Congress is also approaching its deadline to pass a bill raising its debt ceiling. If lawmakers don't raise the debt ceiling by October 17th, the nation risks defaulting on its loans. Before the deadline, the House Republicans that forced the shutdown are planning a negotiation that gets furloughed government employees back to work while securing the debt ceiling.
And Democratic Representative Dave Loebsack of Iowa is hopeful to end the shutdown, but feels the House should bring a clean continuing resolution, which means reopening the government with the same funding levels that existed before the shutdown.
Iowa City's Brugger's Bagels branch is back. The bagel shop is set to reopen Friday at the same location after a kitchen fire destroyed the then 101-year-old building. Officials say the fire originated in the Brugger's kitchen, but the cause of the fire remains undetermined. An Iowa City man called police yesterday to complain that he had not been paid for drugs he sold illegally. According to the Iowa City Police Criminal Complaints, 57-year-old Daniel Knoll Sr. called police and told officers he had sold some of his prescription medicine to a friend that did not pay him. In fact, Knoll called the police 3 or 4 more times after the initial call to see why they were taking so long to respond. Knoll was arrested and faces charges of prohibited acts as well as possession of drug paraphernalia.
Finally, a quick look at the weather forecast for Iowa City. Right now, the temperature is 58 degrees, and the high for today is expected to be